Hey friends! Recently, my wife and I took our kids out to lunch to celebrate our son's birthday. The food was excellent and filling, and we were all full, happy, and ready to go home and enjoy our food comas. However, before we left, we wanted to see if our son could receive his free birthday dessert. So we asked the waiter if they could do that for him, who said that he would go and check and see if they could make that happen. So we waited, and waited, and waited some more. The restaurant was busy, yes, but we felt like it should not be taking this long. As our waiter would walk back and forth past our table, my wife and I had to resist the urge to begrudgingly ask him what was going on. Because the truth is that we were all annoyed and ready to go. But we kept waiting. And just as we were this close to making a few comments to him that I know we would instantly regret, we hear this loud commotion of singing as a group of waiters walked around the corner, putting a giant oversized sombrero on my son's head, placing a giant bowl of ice cream in front of him, and serenading him with music in only a way that would supremely embarrass just about any preteen boy. We were all blessed and smiling ear to ear. And then, immediately, my wife and I started to feel that twinge of conviction. Our impatience and frustrated attitude towards our waiter was 100% misplaced. He knew what was going on behind the scenes. We did not. Maybe their kitchen was running behind and a free bowl of ice cream was not the number one priority. Maybe there was a chef out sick. There are any number of legitimate reasons why we had to sit and wait longer than we wanted, or longer than we thought was necessary. But we were not in control. All we had to do was be patient and wait and trust in the authority and knowledge of the person in control. So I'm sure you all know where I'm going with this story. How often do we have these kinds of responses when we're waiting for God to move in our lives? We've prayed earnestly, daily, and more often than not, we end up frustrated and annoyed because we had to wait longer than we thought we should. But it says in Romans 8, if we look forward to something we don't yet have, we must wait patiently and confidently. Confidence. Now that suggests faith and trust towards the person in charge. For my family, it was having faith in our server. For all of us collectively, daily, it's faith and trust in our Father in heaven. Only He knows what's going on behind the scenes. All throughout Scripture, we see incredible examples of how our fathers in the faith had to patiently wait for many decades for what was promised to them. Abraham waited 25 years for the promise of his son Isaac. How would my patience hold up? After Joseph was sold into slavery, he waited for 20 years to be reunited with his family. Jacob was also separated from his family for 20 years before being reunited. The nation of Israel waited for liberation from their slavery in Egypt for hundreds of years. And those are only a few examples from the first 2 books of the Bible, not to mention the other 64. God had a plan and purpose for all of them, even if these individuals could not see the evidence behind the scenes or see the promise happening on their preferred timeline. So, be encouraged today. If you're finding yourself stuck, waiting, struggling against a frustrated and angry attitude, ask yourself, do I have faith and trust in the creator of the universe, the person who put breath in my lungs? We have a good and perfect Father in heaven who loves us and cares for us. That knowledge, that truth, should give us the strength we need to keep waiting patiently.